Celtics with the ball and only have one chance to tie it with a three. Bird comes around the screen. He's got the look. Good for three. Larry Bird has just sent this game into overtime. Welcome, everyone. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. What a treat we have here. We've dusted off a reel from the past and get to take a look back at some of the great teams of the NBA. Larry Bird Celtics against Dominique Wilkins Hawks.
And we are sure to be in for a great show as Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins have had some great battles on the floor. It's always a fun show when they get together and battle things out at that small forward position.
And it'll be fun to see some of the great stars on the floor joining the great Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins. Mikal and Parrish joining the side of the Celtics. A lot of talent in that front court of Boston's.
No doubt about it. With all the firepower both these sides have, it's guaranteed to be fun as we get underway. Taking a look now at this Celtics team. It's the all-star front court that is so feared around the NBA with Bird, Mikal, and Parrish. In the backcourt, Dennis Johnson running the point. He's flanked by Danny Ainge at the off guard. And on the other side, matching up against Bird at the three is Dominique Wilkins. The Twin Towers underneath are Kevin Willis and Tree Rollins. Doc Rivers and Randy Whitman of the backcourt to round out the starting five.
You want a pure scorer. You take Dominique Wilkins. How about the 10-year stretch from 1984 to 94? He averaged 25 points a game.
And it's the Hawks with the ball. Here's Wilkins. The human highlight film living up to his nickname.
2 dunks in a row for Dominique. He is taking it so strong to the hole.
That free throw good from Wilkins. Here's Ainge. And Mikal backs down. He's covered by Willis. Bird kicks to Parrish. 5 on the clock. Johnson outside. 8 away. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Here's Rivers.
Bird was so dominant throughout the entire decade of the 80s. It's hard to pick out a best year for him. I mean, sometime in the mid to late 80s, though, was when he was at his best.
Dominique not giving up an inch to Larry Bird.
Talk about a great start. 3 of 3 from the field to get the game going. They're cooking with gas, folks.
Here's Ainge. No good again that time. I'm thinking more about his best year for Larry.
Oh! Can you believe that dunk? I mean, that was first class right there.
I'm not sure I can believe it.
I don't know how he was able to execute the reverse in such tight quarters. Incredible.
For the Hawks, contact comes in for Rollins, and it's Webb in for Doc Rivers.
Tell you what, guys, Randy Whitman was an important piece of this Atlanta team, filling out a deep, talented backcourt for the Hawks. You know, I think my favorite Larry Bird quote comes from Magic Johnson when he said, "Larry, you told me one lie. You said there will be another Larry Bird. Larry, there will never, ever be another Larry Bird." High praise, and he just might be right.
Well, the closest I've ever seen to Larry Bird would be Dirk Nowitzki. He has, that similar shooting stroke, that size, the rebounding ability. Bird was the better passer, but Dirk Nowitzki probably as close to Larry Bird as we're ever going to see in our lifetime.
Moving it around. Webb against Parrish. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
John Concat.
Ainge was such a key player for those Celtics teams. A very tough player at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he was an old school guard, kind of a combo guard, can handle it a little bit and also play off the ball. And you needed a tough guard like him in this era. He was fearless out there and really got under people's skin because he never gave up and played extremely hard.
And you look at this Celtics team, interesting. Kevin McHale and Danny Ainge, both from this Celtics team, went on to be general managers for the Wolves and Celtics, respectively.
Yeah, you know what? There was a little suspicion when McHale sent KG over to the Celtics. People wondering if the old teammates really still wore Celtic green underneath, but I think McHale is too competitive to let that happen.
Here's Willis. 6 on the shot clock. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
One of the interesting stories about Larry Bird, he was actually drafted by the Celtics after his junior season. There was a technicality in the rules at that point that allowed Red Auerbach to draft him a year before he came out and turned into one of the best draft picks of all time.
Yeah, you know what, Steve? That rule was that you had a calendar year to sign someone that was drafted, and it worked extremely well for the Celtics and Red Auerbach. They took him early, let him play out his senior year, then had him waiting. I mean, 6 overall for a player you had to wait a year for, that's a pretty good indication of the talent that Bird had.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Hawks lead by 7.
And I thought the defense was key here for this club. They really tightened up.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start.
Probably more so than any player in NBA history, Larry Bird really connected with the fans in the city of Boston. Just had that way about him. The fans seem to feed off of him and vice versa.
They've got Walton. Seasting is out there with Johnson. Then it's Bird, and it's Parrish in at the 5 down low. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. Seasting passes to Walton, and blocked.
And he did not want to mess with Tree Rollins. A true intimidator on the court. I mean, Danny Ainge still has the scar to prove it.
Here's Rivers, looking for his first bucket of the game. Back to Larry Bird, Larry Legend. It wasn't really a surprise to see his number retired immediately upon his retirement.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, after the season he had in '86, I'm surprised they didn't hang that jersey up the next season. I mean, he was unbelievable in 1986.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Nice time to use that foul to stop the layup.
You know, if you can save just 1 point, that foul was the right move.
And you see Larry playing against the Hawks here. He had some of the best games of his career against Atlanta. And how about the duel he had with Dominique Wilkins in the playoffs all those years ago?
Bird, and the layup is good. Bird's got his first 2 points of the night.
And one of the things that made Bird so difficult to cover was the combination of his height and the angle of his shot. He released the ball kind of out and over his head, so very difficult to challenge him.
You know, you're all over it there, Steve. I mean, a big part of why he was such a great shooter was his size and that unique release angle you talked about. It was really hard for smaller players to bother or distract his shot.
Well, back to Bird just a second, Steve. Against the Hawks, he had that game where he had 60 against them, and then Clark was so dialed in, he was calling shots as he went up the court.
Well, Bird could definitely talk with the best of them. You didn't know he was doing it, but unless you were out there between the lines, he was discreet with it. But he ended up with 60 that night, guys. And for his last shot, he said he hit it from in the trainer's lap, and sure enough, he made a 3, got fouled, and fell into the Hawks trainer. The Hawks bench, guys, went wild cheering for him on that one.
Dominique Wilkins.
It was great to see Larry Bird when he was healthy. I mean, you forget just how dominant a player he was. Really a shame that late in his career, back injury slowed him down some.
Thinking about Larry's back, if he were to keep playing, the early 90s would have been something wild in this league.
Now, Jordan in his prime with Magic, Bird, the Bad Boys in Detroit, all still playing. Man, that would have been something to watch.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Kevin McHale, he checked in for Parrish. Wedman comes in.
Now that's a special order right there.
Not everybody can cap off a dunk like that.
Yeah, very difficult maneuver, but a tremendous one if you can pull it off.
.59 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Wedman. From the arc, Johnson gets the bucket. Johnson's got his first 3 points of the game.
And you get a look at a young Kevin Willis. He went on to play 21, 22 years in the league.
Yeah, ended up actually, Steve, playing 23 seasons in all, and that really is a testament to his ability and his health and his commitment to staying in shape and taking care of his body.
Here's Seasting. Kicks it to McHale. 4 on the clock. Whitman grabs the miss.
Boy, both clubs really battling under the boards.
Yeah, and you know, Steve, the rebounding story really mirrors the game at large. I mean, it's been pretty much tit for tat, neck and neck.
Yeah, he saw that lane to the offensive glass, and that's how he cashed in.
That will count. No good on that last second attempt there. And that does it for the first half of play. Back here in just a moment here in Boston. The second half just about to get going here.
And you look back at that glorious decade of the 80s in the NBA, Bird was just so dominant. He won 3 titles in Boston and, of course, had that magical, so to speak, rivalry with Irvin Magic Johnson with the Lakers. They dominated that decade together.
On the court right now for the Hawks. Kevin Willis out there with Rollins. Then it's Whitman. And it's Rivers, and it's Wilkins in at the 3 slot. Shot clock at 2. Bird, too much for Dominique right there.
He has such a calm demeanor, but he locks in, takes his time, and finishes.
Passes it to Rivers. And it's Johnson picking him up. Rivers kicks to Wilkins. Takes it up. He shoots again, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Larry Bird.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage looks down there.
That free throw good from Wilkins. And Steve, back to what you were saying. Deep down, though, you knew Magic and Bird loved competing against each other. Clark, you were right there on the court many times against those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2 fantastic players, and to this day, it's still argued over who was better. But they were certainly the best of the best in the 80s. I mean, 8 of the 10 NBA titles went to either Bird's Celtics or Magic's Lakers.
Concax checked in for the Hawks. Webb comes in for Doc Rivers.
Spud Webb.
Here's Webb. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. And it's Johnson picking him up. Webb kicks to Wilkins. Back to Webb. Here's Whitman. Willis against McHale. Willis, no good.
Kevin McHale, probably the most famous Golden Gopher as far as basketball goes. I mean, he had quite a special career on the college stage.
That's tipped.
Boy, DJ is so good at creating havoc and forcing turnovers.
Well, just a tenacious defensive stopper. One of the best defensive guards of all time. You can see why with steals like that.
Talking about Kevin McHale in college, he didn't start out incredibly dominant, but his junior and senior years, he became a force.
He was always consistent in his college career, but the jump was made during his junior year. And that's when he really got better, not only down on the block, but with his free throw shooting, and he became a double-double machine at that point.
And yes, sir, that one drops. Webb's got his first points of the game. Ainge with the ball, and Bird backs him in. Straight up. Here's Johnson. Great play by Bird to set it up. Johnson's got 7 points. Now, here is Webb. And it's Johnson picking him up. The shot by Wilkins. Basket is good. The assist from Webb.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
McHale backs down, and as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. We're seeing a tremendous game so far from Dominique Wilkins.
The way he's moved through the defense so far through 3 quarters, it's like everybody but him is in slow motion.
Well, he's just that quick going to the basket, Steve. I mean, the help defense just isn't getting.
Here's Rivers. Bird out there with Kevin McHale. Then it's Parrish. Then there's Wedman. And it's Vincent in at the point. That's the Boston 5. Back to Wilkins. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Celtics trail by 8. Bird dishes to McHale. Back to Bird. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Doc Rivers.
The first free throw is good.
Teams first. At the line for the Celtics.
So he gets them both. Here's Rivers. And here is Wilkins. Yep, it's good.
Now they've got to offer more resistance inside. Just too many easy buckets in the paint.
Yeah, Steven, that's the top priority for any defense. You got to protect the paint.
Bird outside. Redmond. Good. And it's Bird picking up the assist. Bird's got 3 assists tonight. It's Wilkins on the wing. Bird covering. Here's Wilkins.
Yeah, the official all over that one. That's a good call there.
You got to give credit to the official there. I mean, being in the right position to make that call, that's what they get paid to do.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And a new group in for the Celtics. Walton's checked in for Parrish. Ainge comes in for Larry Bird. He's checked in for Wedman. And Dennis Johnson's subbed in for Vincent. Concax checked in for the Hawks. Whitman comes in for Johnson. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. Ainge kicks to McHale. There's the pass to Seasting. Lets it go from deep. Can't get it to go. So the Hawks will take it the other way. Now Rivers. Shoots over Ainge. Rivers can't get it to go. Celtics trail by 8. Here's McHale. Offline with his 3. Here's Rivers. Got a piece of it. He's guarded by Johnson. Whitman. And he races to the bucket for 2. And the Hawks lead by 10.
They're really making a point of taking it inside and scoring from close range.
Well, you have to give some of the credit, actually the blame, I should say, to the defense. They are not doing anything in the paint area.
Boston making some changes. Parrish comes in for Walton. And Larry Bird sub for Seasting. Ainge the pass to Parrish. Pass to Johnson. Ainge kicks to Parrish. Out to Bird. Nice movement. Johnson outside.
Come on, he's got to know better than to try to force that pass down low.
Whitman tries again, and Wilkins puts it in.
And that's going to do it. I mean, this thing is pretty much over. They've played well.
Well, it has been a bit anticlimactic the end of the game, but sometimes that's the way it goes.
I don't know, Clark. This looks over now.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is all but over.
And it's Parrish missing. And here's Rivers. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one.
We were hoping for a show, and I'd say we got one. Hawks had the edge in the end, though.
You knew they would have to turn in a great performance to beat this legendary Celtics team, and they were able to come together.
And that wraps up our look back at NBA history, the Boston Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. So for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and the rest of our crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying good night.